All right, guys, I am joined by somebody who's captured the hearts and minds of MMA fans for over a decade, right? From World Series of Fighting to the UFC. Now we go into a whole new era at Paramount, and here he is once again, ushering in the new era. It's poetic. It's just what the fans have been waiting for, and he's here on Submission Radio. Justin Gaethje, man. I'm so excited to talk to you, dude.
Absolutely, man. Thanks for having me.
So I just mentioned it, man. I feel like you've been around at some of the most pivotal times in the sport's history. I'm kind of referring to that, you and Tony Ferguson fight from UFC 249 through COVID. I feel like that was a historic moment in history. Now you're ushering in this Paramount era. Like, are you the type of guy that looks back on this kind of stuff and knows how big of a deal these things are, or is it just another day in the
Oh,
office for you?
I mean, yeah, I definitely understand that. To be in this position, the UFC really trusts my ability to perform, entertain, and then obviously, thinks that I'm one of the best in the world, and that's what I fight for. I think people, forget when it comes like the press conference the other day was pretty boring, but I've never been a guy to like necessarily need to, try to cause drama or cause entertainment. I just think people, obviously are looking for entertainment there, but ultimately I'm the most consistent guy that's ever stepped in the cage. And so I might lack on behind the mic because I really, don't think that I need to create stories. I'm a realist. I want to, be based in real things and real facts. And ultimately, Patty's a very, very dangerous opponent. And we do not need to create drama for people to understand how exciting this fight's going to be.
You still did a backflip though after your face off on
Yeah,
stage. There's,
that's my one and only party trick.
hey,
I'm
dude,
from
that was
so I might
super.
be
Just cold from the stare down, boom,
yeah
backflip. Like, bro, this is just
I might
crazy.
be I might be 37, but I can still do that.
By the way, I know that Tony Ferguson one that was from an interim belt for an interim belt. Now we're going
Yeah,
for an interim belt again. I know last time, um, it's not that the interim belt didn't mean much to you, but you were focused on Khabib. You kind of put the belt down.
yeah,
Now at this point in your career, any different sort of feelings on this belt at all? Because you kind of had to go through a whole roller coaster
yeah. I mean,
to get to
ultimately,
this point.
you know, um, on paper, this makes you a champion. They have to pay you as a champion. I think that is spectacular, and I definitely, recognize that. Outside that, I understand that it gives me the opportunity to fight Ilia Topuria. It was Khabib back then, and he was number one pound for pound, and I'm pretty sure Ilia is, top three pound for pound right now. And so, these are the opportunities to that I literally signed up, for this sport for that I asked for. And what better way to I'd be a fool to think that this is the beginning of my career. This is definitely towards the end, and what a way to finish. Beat Ilya, beat Patty, beat Ilya, and then if there's another contender, beat them and be done. But ultimately to be able to you know fail and have the opportunity to come back and achieve gold will be, exactly the story that I've been trying to write. I've been trying to inspire people and show people that, you know, um, everyone doesn't. It's hard to understand how difficult it is. I've had 38 fights, and they're 15 minutes or 25 minutes in time. And sometimes you give amazing interviews, and I'm sure some days you think that you maybe could have done better. And for us as athletes, it's you think you could be perfect and you want to be perfect, but to expect yourself to be absolutely perfect every single one of these fights is almost impossible. It's like somebody being perfect every day. And so, sometimes some nights we're off, some nights we're on. And so really it's just a battle to understand why I had great nights, why I had bad nights, and through this training process understand how and what I need to do to be perfect that night. And intuitively, reactionary, and in my heart. And so that's the battle, and that's the lessons that I've learned, along the way. And so I'm ready to compete and perform. January 24th.
Yeah, man. You know what the crazy thing is? By the way, I think most of my interviews suck after I do them. This is an exception, but it's only because you're a great guest, and I'm excited just to get a chance to speak to you. But I wanted to say, that Tony Ferguson fight that was 5 years ago. I wonder
Hmm.
from that interim title fight to this one, what do you think the biggest difference about yourself is these days?
Well, I do think that I have over the years, obviously become a more refined and more methodical fighter. There's always been a method to the madness, but I really just really trusted in myself and my ability you know, um, to outwork people and be faster from A to B. And I still think I possess those skills, but obviously with age comes wisdom, and so I've become I've had terrible performances, I've had great performances, and again those learning experiences have given me insight on how to be perfect. And it's still the biggest task and the biggest problem and conundrum that we're trying to figure out is how to be perfect. But I got 1,000 minutes, thousands of minutes to get ready for January 24th, and I'm utilizing every single one of them so that I can trust in my preparation, and that ultimately gives me confidence to perform.
Mm. I know there was a little bit of criticism about Paddy Pimblett getting this fight. Like, did you see some of that stuff online? I think people wanted to see you and Ilia Topuria. Then they wanted to see you and Arman Tsarukyan, right?
Yeah,
Well, what's your reaction to people kind of being like, "Oh, Paddy, great fight. This is a great fight, but we don't know if he's deserving
yeah.
of this opportunity against
I mean,
Justin
I
Gaethje."
felt just as much hate for me as I did for him. Um,
Oh, for
you know,
you?
people
Why?
saying,
I feel like they're
no,
happy. The people are happy about this. You getting this
I mean,
opportunity.
my
You know?
fans are, the people that support me are, but obviously, Armin's the one. If you're an Armin fan, you obviously, feel, slighted, and I understand that. But this is such a crazy game, and timing is everything. I beat Dustin Poirier, and then he ended up fighting for a belt. After that, this is just a crazy game. And
Mm.
if you sign up for this game, you have to understand that there's so many variables that you do not control, and ultimately, you just have to be ready for each one of these nights when they show up.
Yeah, I know Arman Tsarukyan wants to help you train for Paddy Pimblett. Did you see that? He wants to offer his services to you.
Yeah, yeah, I saw that. I mean, I would say that from my perspective, that was more of him trying to go against Patty rather than help me. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go and start making drastic changes in my training camps when it comes to getting ready for these fights. I trust the team that I have. I will bring in training partners, um, but ultimately, I'm not gonna bring in guys that I'm probably and possibly gonna fight in the future.
Mm.
I
Hey,
got nothing
speaking.
against. I mean, he'd be a great training partner, but ultimately, I might have to fight him one day. So that'd be not smart.
Yeah. Speaking of Paddy Pimblett, man, I saw the odds. You came out. You're coming in as an underdog here. I was talking to Dan Hooker actually just the other day. Me and Dan don't really quite agree with the odds. What was your reaction when you saw that Paddy's the favorite going
Yeah, I
into this
mean, for
fight?
for me, I love it.
Why?
Uh,
Why do you love it? You love being the underdog going into fights?
yeah, I mean, you don't get here unless you're petty. I love I love that stuff. People tell me I can't do something is the reason I'm still here. Obviously the people that have believed in me keep inspiring me to continue, but it's ultimately the people that are telling me that I'm gonna fail or don't have it that push me to get up in the morning and light the fire under my ass. And so, um, people don't understand how crazy this game is. It's just such a crazy game. It's such a short amount of time, and in the grand scheme of things, it's a blimp. And so, it's a crazy game. I mean, like I said, I love being an underdog. I think I've been underdog out of my 14 fights at least 9 or 10 times, and I've won the majority of those. I think I've lost 2 or 3 times as an underdog. So I do love being an underdog. I prefer to be an underdog, and I do think that recency bias plagues us humans every single time. So it's
Mm.
perfect.
Is that what you think it is? Because I was trying to kind of decode it,
No,
and
I
I was
mean,
thinking, are they doing it because of age? Because with Paddy Pimblett, right, when you look at his record, he doesn't actually have any wins over anyone in the top 10. I think Chandler is 12 or something.
yeah.
So, and you're obviously fighting the best of the best all the time. It's like a bit of a two different careers next to each other. What do you think it is that the odds
I
makers are
think
seeing?
I think Occam's razor says it's the age. I think the age. I think there's a correlation to the math when it comes to younger guys versus older guys. They say over 35, 36, you don't win championship fights. Volkanovski just proved that wrong.
Yeah.
And I don't, believe in things like that. And I'm 28, 29 biologically, so I'm excited. I'm excited. I do think it's the age though. It's
Mm.
probably the biggest variable.
I know you mentioned the criticisms online. You would have seen people are saying, well, the way we see Paddy Pimblett winning is on the ground, right? That's the one thing everyone puts in the comment sections every time I do a video about this fight. Justin's beating him on the feet. Paddy's, if he gets him on the ground, that's where he beats him. But people forgetting like how much of a decorated grappler you are? Like, what's your reaction when you see people so decisively agreeing that on the ground, Paddy Pimblett has this huge advantage over you?
I mean, they saw. I mean, again, recency bias. People remember, the biggest fights that I've had against the most elite grapplers. I have had issues, but the way that Charles Oliveira got me to the ground was by, rocking me and sitting me down with a punch. Khabib was just a whole nother conundrum. And then, I mean, ultimately, he's a really good grappler. But since the Charles Oliveira fight, I've really trained a lot of jujitsu, a lot of grappling, and I've actually been enjoying it a lot more than I ever have. And so, I'm not looking to grapple, but I have no issue, with the grappling department, and my ability to keep people from taking me down is second to none. So he's gonna have to, you know, uh, compromise me with his punches and kicks and knees, and then, if that happens, then he'll have a better chance. But
Mm.
this is such a crazy game, you just never know.
Deep.
Maybe I'll sub him.
Well, I mean, anything's
Got
possible,
to be
but
1,000,000 to 1 odds though.
oh, you reckon? Oh, no, dude. What about the fights the other day? Like all the odds, all the weird odds hit, right? Like the draw with
The
Jan, and then
draw.
the crazy Pantoja thing. You just never know. I was
So
gonna,
yeah, Katsura getting a TKO. Yeah, it wasn't
yeah,
crazy game. That's why I mean.
crazy
There's a
game.
reason. There's a reason that we are on the edge of our seats at every moment in this sport. During these
Piotr
big
Jan
fights.
dominating Marab like that. Crazy stuff. Hey, I got to ask, with the striking, how do you rate his striking? Because Paddy's going to be, he's known for sort of pushing the action, which makes this a really exciting fight. Do you believe against yourself he'll still be as aggressive, or do you think he's going to be trying to look to get this to the ground as quickly as possible?
Well, no, I mean, I think he's gonna have to. I mean, obviously, I think he's gonna fight smart. I think he's gonna fight a smart fight. I think he fought a smart fight versus Chandler. I think in the first round he was very calculated. He wasn't necessarily over aggressive, and I expect him to fight like that against me. And yeah, I really got to control his feet. When it comes to technique, he might not be there, but when it comes to like aggression and tenacity, I mean, those are big variables when it comes to striking, and those are things that he does not lack in. And so I'm gonna need to still his momentum and still the confidence because that's why he is so effective right now.
He's kind of like a bit of a momentum guy, right? He pushes forward, and some of the technique maybe isn't as flashy, but he's aggressive. And I guess he's got that kind of Dricus du Plessis thing about him and the RDR thing about him, where when he's in the octagon with people, maybe people underestimate his striking. But like, how would you rate what he does on the feet?
What I rated striking, probably like a 7 or an 8. I mean, he really throws a lot of power into his shots, and if you do get hit with those shots, like there's no doubt it's a problem. And he's constantly moving forward, and that's a big part of this sport, and it really gets him into these clinch positions and into these takedown positions off of his strikes. And so I really got to create angles and run him into shots. I've always said I create car crashes. I want to be the object that we're the same mass. I want to be the object that gets there first and has the most force, and that's by controlling his feet and running him into dangerous positions.
Hey guys, before the interview continues, I just want to thank my sponsors for making the show possible. I'm going to keep it quick, but I want you guys to please support these guys. I've got the Manscaped, of course. Manscaped Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra is your go-to. But of course, they've got your performance package where you can jump on right now and check out, which makes the perfect gift this holiday season. So jump on to manscaped.com. Check out all the great products, including the performance package, the beard hedger, the weed whacker, and of course the lawnmower, and get sorted for this festive holiday season thanks to Manscaped. And don't forget, you get 15% off and free shipping thanks to Manscaped now. That's 15% off and free shipping thanks to Manscaped now. Please support the guys because they support the show and get the perfect Christmas gift right now. Also want to shout out NordVPN that are giving you guys 4 free months in their 2-year plan. You could click the link below. NordVPN will make sure that you guys are secured and sorted for the best VPN out there. They have the best app out there. Get cheaper flights, better deals on rental cars, and have access to videos and streaming services and sports all around the world at the click of your fingertips. Simply change your geolocation to another country and get the discounts. That includes cheaper signups for things like NBA League Pass and all sorts of other things. NordVPN has you sorted. Click the link below and get the best VPN out there today. That's nordvpn.com/submission. Click that now and get that 4 months free on the 2-year plan. You won't regret it. Best VPN in the game. And if you guys are traveling this holiday season, please jump on Saily right now. It is the best eSIM that you can use, that you could find. Saily is actually owned by NordVPN, so it has all the threat protection features that you love from NordVPN, but it gives you access to using your phone wherever you are in the world. Simply update it and add credits as you go. No need for new SIM cards lining up in airports or having Wi-Fi's steal all your personal information. Saily.com/submission. Go there right now. If you guys are traveling, that is your go-to place for your eSIM wherever you go in the world. Stay connected on your phone thanks to Saily and get 15% off with the code submission. So jump on right now. Try it today. You're not going to regret it. And trust me when I tell you, avoid those additional SIM cards. Avoid those public Wi-Fi. Saily has you sorted. And now, boom, boom, it's back to the program. It's going to be insane because he's there. We know that he's there to be hit, but we haven't seen him get hit by Justin Gaethje before. I'm envisioning a few sneaky low kicks as well. You know, some of those Justin Gaethje low kicks. I'm envisioning an absolute war. When you guys go face to face, are you the type of guy that takes much away from these face-offs, like the press conference the other day that you mentioned at the start of the interview?
No.
Did you notice any? I noticed that he's a big guy.
Yeah,
I noticed that.
Yeah, outside that, no. I mean, nothing from that night is going to help me when it comes to January 24th. I mean, he's going to be a much different person than he was that day. I'm going to be a bunch leaner and different person than I was that day. And so, yeah, I don't take a lot of, for one, when it comes to these fights, I don't take a lot of the past, like his past fights, my past fights, other than, the mental notes of how to perform. But outside that, there's nothing that could help me from the past. In my mind.
He's saying he wants to move up to welterweight after a couple of fights and get the title there as well. Do you think he is big enough to?
Yeah, I will not even entertain that question. That's what everybody's saying.
Everyone's saying that these days. What's your reaction to that? Because you're from a different generation, bro. When you were fighting at the World Series of Fighting, no one was saying this kind of stuff. Now it's like every single person, before they win the title, was already talking about moving up.
Yeah. I mean, that means he might be looking past me. I would love that. But no, I know he's not. He's not a fool. He knows that he's fighting, top 5 in the UFC. You'd be a fool to think that anything's going to be easy here. So I'm ready. I'm going to be ready for Paddy Pimblett. I think he's great right now. I think, again, his confidence is his biggest variable that makes him so dangerous, and I'm going to have to really work hard to take that from him.
Hey, with Ilia Topuria, right? Because we'd love to see you unify the belt with Ilia Topuria if things go to plan at UFC 324. But do you believe that Topuria hangs around the division? Are you hoping you get a chance to unify the belt against him? Or do you think he might be going up to do this whole Islam thing potentially? Who knows, maybe at the White House or something?
I guess I don't really have an opinion. I mean, if he went up, I would just be the champion, which I would, I'm not going to complain about. But I think what that leaves open is the chance for me to get a rematch against Max Holloway or Charles Oliveira, get my belt and get the BMF belt. And ultimately, that was the script I've been speaking into existence since the Fazeev fight. I thought I was going to fight Ilia in January, and then I was going to fight Max or whoever had the BM Max or Oliver. Now they're fighting, but before it was just Max. I was going to fight Max on the White House card, and then have both those belts.
Dude, that would be amazing. I'm so happy as well that you're in this opportunity because I know Ali Abdelaziz said that you were a little bit over the UFC, like maybe not giving you the chance. And if you didn't get this fight, perhaps you would retire. Now that you've got this fight, is it safe to say we'll still have you for a few more fights if things go to plan? The fans can look forward to a few Justin Gaethje fights.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's not the beginning, but I'm not done. As soon as I think that my younger self will whoop my older self's ass, then I'll be done. And I don't think we're there yet. So
how do you figure that out? Is it just
been one at a time since I started, and it's going to continue to do that. I think the tenacity and the hunger of my younger self, whenever I lose that fire as a older athlete, I think my younger self would consume me, and that would be my way to judge that. But ultimately, I will never know the answer. I've surrounded myself with people that love me and have known me for a long time, and they're the ones that will tell me when I'm done.
Are you the type of person that would, do the whole Henry Cejudo thing and announce, hey, this is going to be my last fight? Maybe do like the package and let everybody know so they could come to the fight and sort of be able to watch your last fight? Or are you the kind of person that would announce it after the fight is done in the middle of the octagon?
I don't know.
I feel like you're more of an announce it in the middle of the octagon
Yeah,
type of guy.
probably because if I was to go into a fight thinking that this was it, then I think that would be detrimental to the way that I compete. So I would never approach a fight like that. Like this is my last one.
Mm. All right, last one from me, man, because I know you got training the White House card, right? I know Donald Trump said that it's going to be a card full of championship fights. You're not looking past Paddy Pimblett. You're focused on UFC 324. So I want to preface this question with that. But how sweet would it be for you to be able to defend, unify, do this Ilia Topuria fight on this White House card, the biggest card of all time?
Yeah. No, I would be. It would be an honor, honestly. I love representing this country. It's very difficult to represent this country because it's so divided at times. But the way that I fight, I think I don't care where you're from or what you look like. You can appreciate the fact that I represent this country well and with maximum effort and dignity and grace. And I try to be respectful at all times. But yeah, I mean, being on the White House card would be amazing for me, amazing for my family. Coming from such a small place in Arizona, to get the opportunity is exactly why I'm here. It's going to be a perfect last chapter.
Dude, I'm so happy for you. All right, for everybody watching at home who who's excited about the card, what's your message about this Paddy Pimblett fight? Why do people need to tune in UFC 324, Paramount Plus, in Australia here as well, on KO Sport? Why do they need to check it out?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I might be boring behind a mic, but there's no one more consistent or more exciting when you step in the octagon. And Paddy's, with his aggression and his hunger, I think this is going to be same as every other Michael Johnson type fight where I might get rocked a couple times, but my grit and tenacity and will to win is going to, overcome. So I'd rather, he wants both bonuses. That's the difference between age. Now I just want one bonus, performance of the night. I know that if I get fight of the night and performance of the night, I probably got rocked a few times and, definitely faced some adversity and then came back, which I'm okay with, but it's not my preference. I prefer to knock them out with my first punch and get performance of the night bonus and move on. Least damage possible, but this is the damage sport, so I'm not scared to get in there and mix it up. I think it's very important to move forward on Paddy. I think it's very important not to give him space or ground, and I think I'm gonna work hard to take that from him.
Dude, I cannot wait. Dude, I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. Thanks for everything that you've done for the sport. The fans are so excited. There he is, Justin Gaethje, UFC 324. It all goes down at Paramount. Thank you for joining me, my friend.
Thank you.